This is Fieldsports Channel News. If you ever doubted it, scientists have now proved that gamekeepers are good for uplands. A new report launched in Westminster by Northumberland MP David Smith explains the vital role of gamekeepers in fighting wildfires and protecting heather moorlands, as well as supporting the economies of upland communities. Professor Simon Denny's report, The Grousemoor Gamekeeper in England in the 21st Century, is the first academic study to gather detailed information about the economic, environmental and social impacts of gamekeepers and their work.
So we are no longer just the gamekeeper in tweeds, we're the educator, we're the first responder, the wildlife warden, as we've seen over the spring, the wildfire fighter. It's an in-depth look at the social, economic and environmental benefits of gamekeeping and upland game management.
Police have seized guns from a Member of Parliament. Rupert Lowe MP, who is in dispute with his former political party Reform, says he arranged voluntarily with the police to give up his guns. Despite this, armed police arrived at his home unannounced. 3 vehicles with 4 armed officers came to his farm late at night, confiscated his guns, loaded them into a wheelbarrow and left. The Badger Trust and Wild Justice are hoping to take money off DEFRA. The 2 organisations have won permission to challenge badger culling licences in the High Court. They say that Natural England granted 26 supplementary licences to allow farmers to kill badgers between June and November 2024, against advice from its own scientists. Solicitors Lee Day say it's progressing a claim against the government. Thanks to Phil Monkton for the story. Fear of war is providing a boost for the UK gun trade. The UK government has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening domestic firearms manufacturing. Minister of State for Defence Maria Eagle, who is anti-hunting and shooting, confirms she will preside over one of the biggest investments in firearms manufacturing ever seen in the UK. Among new facilities, German defence firm Rheinmetall plans a gun barrel manufacturing centre with up to 400 jobs at the Hadley Castle Works in Shropshire, part of a wider £400 million investment in the UK. An ex-mink hound pack that now hunts rats and rabbits was recently sabbed and set about finding out how. It discovered this tracking device under one of its followers' cars, located just under the driver's door. It advises other country people to check their vehicles regularly, as SABs arm themselves with new technology. There's a campaign to add French hunting to UNESCO's list of intangible cultural heritage. Hunters across France took part in a social media campaign last Saturday, the 17th of May 2025, calling for greater recognition and protection of their way of life. The Fédération Nationale des Chasseurs organised the nationwide action, which invited hunters to visit their local mayor's office, pose for a photo with the movement's new manifesto, and share the image on social media using the hashtag La Passion des Territoires.
So the French have recognised the threat to their rural way of life and have just demonstrated what can be achieved through effective action and standing up for your beliefs. What happened to the fight in rural Britain? What happened to our hunting charter, where we said we would defend it till the last?
The UN plans to run a widespread cormorant cull across Europe. Animal rights organisations oppose the UN's Food and Agriculture Organisation recommendation to reduce the species' impact on fish stocks across Europe. In 2018, the UK's Angling Trust urged fisheries and fishing clubs to submit more applications for licences to control goosander and great cormorant numbers, generating an outcry from antis. Parks Canada is on a mission to help wildlife with fire. It recently conducted a 65-hectare prescribed burn in Banff's backcountry to restore meadow habitats. While the UK government remains politically opposed to prescribed burning, Parks Canada is carrying it out to help rejuvenate the landscape, creating better grazing areas for grizzlies, bison and other animals, and to create fire breaks. And finally, an Australian MP has put out a film about invasive carp. Helen Dalton MP calls the carp the rabbit of the river. She is promoting the work of the Victorian Fisheries Authority, which wants to introduce a carp virus to bring down numbers. It's allowed to do that, she says, under the Federal Biosecurity Act 2015. the VFA and NSW fisheries are preparing a plan for a controlled trial of the carp virus. Thanks to Richard Walton for the story. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stuck in the stories, fishing for facts.